Good evening. This is Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends Blogspot. It's Wednesday, the 18th of October, 2006, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some stocks for trading tomorrow. That's Thursday. Apple reported after the close, and a lot of you have been following this after I had mentioned a speculative purchase in the call options for Apple Computer on the Wall Street column on Monday. Now, as I said on there, I laid out an example for if, for instance, you were to put $1,000 into it, you would buy maybe four contracts for the October 75 calls. Now, those calls expire on Friday, so there's a lot of risk involved in that as far as time. This is either right or wrong, and it's betting on an event, and that's exactly what it is betting. I thought there was good upside potential because there's a large short position in the stock, and the stock is up near pretty close to all-time highs, and it's had a strong history of responding to earnings numbers. So I waited to buy calls. I bought calls today. I bought the October 75 calls at $1.80. And what I did after the market closed was the market rallied very strongly on those numbers. Now, I'm not going to make judgments as far as, earnings or rather options scandal or whether I think the earnings are good or not. I don't look at that kind of stuff. I just look at what are people with a lot of money saying, what's their opinion? Because my opinion with a few hundred shares or a handful of contracts isn't going to make any difference at all. But the stock reported their earnings and rallied very strongly. As I said on the blog earlier, one of my favorite sayings in Wall Street is news and surprises follows the direction of the trend. And clearly the trend in Apple is higher. And that's because basically smart money already sometimes has information ahead of time or has done very good, rather than making it so sinister as all inside information, they've done good fundamental homework and they may make the appropriate bets. Well, the stock traded up, looks like just under $80 a share. I saw it right in here and I figured, hey, I've got to hedge some of these profits because if the stock fails and by the time I get to the options market in the morning when they open, the premium could completely disintegrate. So theoretically, the options were worth $4 each right here, which gave me a little bit better than a double. So I figured by selling short 100 shares of my stock at $79 a share, so that is selling short 100 shares for every two contracts, it would protect my profit, protect my principal and my profit in there, and it would further limit my upside, of course, because I'm short 100 shares. If the stock goes to 90, well, I'm out $11 in the stock, and it basically negates the effect of one of my options calls, 50% of my option calls. It's just, we've got a very short period of time, and that's that's the way I like to play it. It's definitely not the only way to play it. There's a lot of different ways to make these ideas your own, and that's what I always encourage people to do. I find it ironic too that I get so many emails about Apple. Apple's up $4. It's up 5%. Today I had this stock up 160%. Barely a whisper from anyone. It's a strange thing. Bottom line is, though, I made a ton of money in SIGA today. I make a little bit of money in Apple. And let's go ahead and take a look at some ideas for tomorrow. Avanar Pharmaceutical. This is stock we looked at 2 days ago. It fell down a little bit harder than I thought, but actually found support right at that rising 10-day moving average. The 10-day moving average is above the 20, which is above the 50. We've got a bullish situation here, obviously. Looking at the weekly time frame, again, I think the stock near term is probably going to head for a test of this 10 level. That's about 10 and a quarter right there. But we've got a great volume pattern. I guess there's some news coming. If you look at the options in there, extremely expensive. There's a big event coming, I'm told, October 30th. I'm probably not going to be around for that event, so it's irrelevant to me. Right now, the stock is setting up very nice. It came back up above this 5-day moving average today, and now what I'd like to see in Avanar would be a pullback to $8.60. Then I would buy it above $8.75, putting my stop after that at $8.48. And I'm again looking for a target of about $10 a share. So risking about 27 cents and looking for about $1.25 of upside. makes for a nice risk reward. Celgene, we've seen this one recently. I'm not going to make any recommendation here on Celgene because I'm not very good at this stock about where to set stops, but it's really in a nice pattern here. So I would say watch Celgene. Worst case, probably stop goes under 46 or so, but it's starting to break. It broke past this little level of resistance, and now that really puts the buyers back in control, in my opinion. So keep your eye on Celgene. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you some more small cap ideas. Hopefully, we get another SIG out of there. Who knows? I doubt it, but it's always nice to wish. I don't have a lot of stocks here either, and it's not because it's just I'm just not finding a lot of good low risk setups. And again, I think this market is very extended. The semiconductors weakness really concerns me here right now, as does all of the action in these small low cap stocks. That typically says there's a lot of speculation in the market. I'm perfectly willing to go along with it because I love these quick gains in the small stocks. You can load up on the shares and get huge percentage moves, and it's a lot of fun while it lasts. But it usually comes near the end of a bullish run, and that's we're extended. So let's take a look at Boom on the downside. Dynamic Materials as a potential short sale. Once again, I'm going to tell you I don't check to see when the earnings are due on these companies for the most part, so make sure you do that homework yourself. And if you find out when they're due, maybe you want to help me out with this blog a little bit and post when the earnings are due. I don't want any opinions. I'm not going to publish anyone's opinions about what the earnings are, but if you want to put a fact about earnings due this day after the close, then I'll publish that. But no opinions, please. Boom looks like it's setting up a big top. We nailed a beautiful short in here a couple weeks ago. From there to there, 28.80 is where we covered. It was just a perfect short sale. We captured most of that move. Now the stock looks like it's setting up once again for a potential short sale. You can see the 5-day moving average has been acting as a little bit of support. It finally broke below that. Now what I'm looking for is to sell it short below this low here. Below 31.20, I would look to sell this stock short. I'd put my stop at about 31.65 and be looking for a test initially. Horrible trend line draw there, but I'd be looking for about a $30 stock in the near term. Hey, this thing could really fall apart though, so perhaps there's a bigger play out there. Amazon's looking very bearish to me. It's just, look at this weekly time frame, how it's rallied up to this prior level of support. If we look at the monthly time frame, we can really see the significance of that. It looks very similar to Yahoo, which is obviously a terrible piece of garbage stock to own, that is Yahoo is. Just continues lower week after week. And this is where I think Amazon is right here. If we look at, this is Yahoo chart we're looking at right now. If I switch it back to Amazon, very similar type of setup. I'm not going to give you a specific recommendation here. It looks like the sellers are in control. I don't know when earnings are due, but this stock looks headed lower to me. Now for a couple of small cap plays that look like they're poised to continue higher. One is Curagen, symbol CRGN. This stock has, looks like it's toying with this downtrend line in the 200-day moving average. And on the daily time frame, we've got that 200-day moving average. You can see it looks like we closed above it today. And then on the 10-minute time frame, buyers look like they're back in control here. Maybe you want to look for, is this the one we mentioned yesterday? I don't even remember. There's so many of these little stocks that are working right now, but maybe down near 375 would make for a better low risk entry. MEMY, this is another pharmaceutical company, and that's all I know about it is pharmaceuticals are hot. These little pharmaceutical plays have been real strong, so maybe this one gets picked up next. Looks like it could make it up to about $1.75. That's where these lows were from last year, as well as the location of that 200-day moving average. We can see that a little bit more clearly here in the daily time frame, that 200-day moving average. But we've seen good volume on the upswing, low volume pullback to the 10-day moving average, and now volume increasing once again. Looks like this stock needs to make it above these highs near about 148 or so. I would think that if it gets down to 138 after purchase, I would bail on that and take the 10-cent loss.